Hello everybody, thank you so much for tuning in again. I appreciate it. I'm going to do another oracle card reading with my deck that I created, the Addiction Recovery with the Law of Attraction. And the reason I created this deck is because I had a personal struggle with alcohol, and I didn't take the AA route. I didn't really feel comfortable in it. I don't know if does anyone else feel that same way. If you do, drop a heart in the comments. I'm not against AA. Obviously, I think it's a great tool. It just wasn't for me. So I kind of just went on all these, self-seeking. I went on a quest. I watched a bunch of podcasts, read tons of books, got certified in addiction recovery, everything that I could do to try to turn this around. And I ended up realizing, man, this would have been all the techniques that I used, would have been great to just have, available, because it sure took me quite a few years to get to the point where I am now, where I do not drink any alcohol at all. I did choose abstinence, but, this deck is created to help people, so they don't have to search as hard as I did. All of the techniques are available right here in this one deck for you that I used. And it's meant to be an additional tool to whatever you're already doing. If you are in AA, obviously stay in AA. Works great for a lot of people. So stick with what you're doing. Don't fire your coach. But this is a fun way to wake up and start your day each morning. Okay, stop in here. Okay, this card is the positive messaging card. And this is my buddy Lance. Actually, had the artist draw a picture of him because I couldn't think of anyone more appropriate to be on this card. He's one of the most positive people that I know. He actually is a mindset coach, Lance Samples. If you want to find him on he's one of my Facebook friends. He's also on Instagram, I think under Gains Plus Brains. But anyway, he's just a very uplifting person to follow, so that is why he made it on this card. Okay, so this card is a reminder that, so I don't have my reading glasses on. I forgot to bring them, so this is a little bit of a struggle. Small print. Okay, so this card is a reminder that you need to go out of your way to listen to positive messaging on podcasts, YouTube, and social media. Have you been paying more attention to negative messaging? Most of the news we see is focused on the terrible and disturbing things happening in the world. People love to share and complain about adverse situations on social media. Yes, they do. Therefore, we are constantly bombarded with fear-based news of health emergencies and war, among other things that we cannot control from our living room. Now, this does not mean that you should bury your head in the sand and become so positive that you ignore the needs of others. There is a line that you can cross with the good vibes only attitude, in which it does become toxic. The goal is not to avoid life and sit on a meditation cushion all day, pretending that all is well. But the goal is to practice raising your vibration every day so that a high vibe is your new set point. When you are tuned into higher frequencies, you are in a better position to help others. You cannot help others when you need help yourself. So of course you will still dip occasionally because there is always an ebb and flow to life, but you will not be able to vibrate low for long. Once you experience a higher vibration often enough, I promise that you will lose your tolerance for the lower frequency emotions. And I call this being a vibrational snob. I'm definitely a vibrational snob. And it's a good thing, basically it doesn't mean you don't have anything, you don't ever think negative thoughts or feel bad or depressed, or it's just that it's very temporary. You catch yourself and you turn it around, and everybody can do this. It just takes practice. It's not any harder to feel good and think positive. It's just that it's more familiar to think negative thoughts, because that's how most of us have been conditioned. So we want to make the unfamiliar familiar. It's not harder, it's just that we don't have as much practice. Okay, so of course you will still dip occasionally because there's always an ebb and flow. I'm just repeating myself. Okay, moving on. Every card in this deck is designed to raise your vibration, and this will happen inevitably when you follow the instructions on each card. So when you get your own deck and you flip it over and you read it, Don't just put the deck away and forget about it. The point is applying the instructions, applying the guidance on the card. When you just put the card down and you forget about it, these aren't going to really do much. I mean, it might plant a seed, but you really want to apply what you're reading. Focus on it each day. So take time today for recovery through learning and inspiration. Block people and groups on social media that no longer resonate with your long-term goals. You can also favorite and follow groups or people who motivate and inspire you. Make sure anything negative in your newsfeed is focused more on solutions rather than problems. And get involved to help out when the opportunity presents itself. So again, this is not about burying your head in the sand. There is something called spiritual bypassing, which a lot of people who you see out there, good vibes only, they're really doing a disservice to others. Like, can you imagine as a coach if I went and talked to you, if you had anything negative to say, and I expected only good vibes? It's extremely unrealistic. Not everybody is able to just think pure positive thoughts. In fact, I don't know if anybody is, and unless you're a complete master, and I've never met that person personally. So it is okay. Do not beat yourself up when you have negative thoughts. Just try to catch yourself quickly, turn it around, and be okay with it. I actually was a good vibes only person when I first learned about the law of attraction back in 2006. I always noticed that there was an energy thing going on. I always noticed, wow, when I think this happens. When I feel this way, this happens. A lot of how we feel, we're going to have a momentum for the day based on how we feel. So those feelings and thoughts really go hand in hand, and we do attract what we feel and what we think. So it's important. It's important to just be more aware. Make those unconscious feelings and thoughts conscious. Bring it into your awareness so we can start to shift and change them. Because we can't change anything that we don't acknowledge, right? Just like denial from an addiction. The first time anyone told me like maybe I drink too much, I just thought that person was controlling. Like, oh my gosh, they're just like so controlling, trying to control my life. I didn't see it as a problem for me because I was having fun still, and drinking can be fun. It can. Like, I can't deny that. But when it's offering more negative than it's bringing positive, and then also the more that I learned about law of attraction, I became a vibrational snob. For real. I knew that my thoughts and the way I feel, there's nothing more important. And I did not want to attract that negative stuff. And it really did turn my life around, you guys. And that's why I created these cards, because I know it can help you too. I was like setting myself up for failure each morning that I had a hangover anyway. Each morning I'm setting myself up. I'm not feeling as good as I can. And then my day is going to go accordingly with that negative momentum. So now I set myself up for success. I do what I know I need to do each day to feel good. And it feels like magic when you do that, because everything just flows better. You're in the flow. You're able to be inspired easily because you're in a higher frequency, literally. It's very different. And I do hope that anyone who buys these cards actually, does take the time to apply the knowledge each day, and you will see, your life change immediately. Actually, day one, if you actually apply what's on these cards, day one, you will notice a huge difference. And you're always going to pick the card that you need to hear that day. That's how the law of attraction works. So email me. It's the best way to get a hold of me if you'd like to buy a deck. For now, I'm still getting my website, these cards put up on the website so someone can purchase them on there. I'm not technical, so I had to hire somebody. But shoot me an email at marybeth@day1lifecoaching.com. And all of this information is going to be below. You could just, click on that. But it's day one spelled out, DAYONE lifecoaching.com. marybeth@day1lifecoaching.com. I've had people order more than one deck after they received their first, which is awesome, right? But since I've been getting text and calls, I really prefer the paper trail, so I don't have to even bother you and ask you, oh, what's your address again? So then that way, I can have your address for, if you reorder, and just have your information, so I don't have to bother you with that. So please go ahead and shoot me an email. The decks are going to be $44 total, and that's flat. That includes the shipping straight to your house. So let me know if you would like any more information. And also, you can find me on Facebook, Day One Life Coaching, Instagram, Day One Life Coaching, with well, it'll be below. And then Addicted to Feeling Good is my Facebook group, all caps, Addicted to Feeling Good. So find us on there if you want some positive messaging. Each day, anyone can post in there, by the way, as long as it's uplifting and fun and funny. It's all good. Just something uplifting. That's the only rules. And to be kind. So thank you so much for listening today, and I will see you next time. Have a great day.